Well, I hope you had a good time at Minions, you dicks. Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for The Gallows, which is a brand new found footage horror film about a bunch of kids, a bunch of teenagers going into a school, and then something happens with rope, people get hung from the neck till dead, and then the movie ends 80 minutes later, and then you go home, and then you make a movie review about a movie no one will go see. So, that's the intro. Let's get into the review now. Woo-hoo. I got a lot to say about this one. Well, actually, no, I don't. Not really, because there's not much to say. The story for The Gallows follows a bunch of dumb white kids doing dumb white kid stuff. They go to a high school after dark because they're dumb and they're white. They go there, and then of course a guy with a bag on his head has a rope, and he tries to kill all the kids with the rope because the rope is scary. If you watch this movie, you'll realize really quickly that the directors of this movie want you to really think rope is extremely scary, because rope is really scary, guys. It's really, really scary. Please, God, save me. Save me. Rope isn't scary. Stop trying to scare me with rope. I'm not scared of it anymore. So, anyway, the story here really, let me actually explain the story, actually takes place at first in 1993 because every found footage movie has to do this thing where it's, oh, we have to show the mythology first so you understand what's going to scare you later on. So in the beginning it shows 1993, this crappy-ass Shakespearean-style play is going on in some high school, and of course there's a part with the gallows. It's called The Gallows. The play is called The Gallows, and this kid's going up to the gallows, and he's putting the rope around his neck, which is the unsafest stage prop I've ever seen in my life, because of course the wood breaks and he actually hangs himself. Oh man, I don't know why they didn't just like make a fake like noose around his neck, or make it so that it wasn't like noose wasn't tied onto the wood on the top, so when he fell through it just like unravel. I don't. He hung. He broke his neck. He was dead instantly. So then, 20 years later, they decide to bring the gallows back because why not? And they bring it back, and of course, it's a big play. Everybody's looking forward to it, but not a couple of dumb white kids. They decide, you know what? Let's go wreck the play before it happens. So they go to the high school. And like at 11, like midnight before the play, and they go there, and of course they start wrecking it, but of course there's something going on. Did the guy that die in 1993, did he actually die? Maybe he did, maybe he's a ghost, who knows? I don't care. He's there, he has a bag on his head, and he's killing everybody. So that's the story of the Gallows. So there you go. That's the story. Now, I'm going to admit, it's not a good premise at all, but when I saw the trailer, which the trailer was just one whole scene of the film, like they actually just put a scene in the film as the trailer, like a whole like minute and a half scene, which was a decent scene. I thought that trailer actually worked pretty well. It was pretty, I wouldn't say terrifying, but it was like, oh, okay, that was kind of unsettling. It's different from most found footage or just straight up horror movie trailers we get. Most of them are just like loud music, dun dun dun, Insidious Chapter 3, Sinister 2, Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, whatever. You know, it's pretty much all the same stuff over and over again. But that one actually built up some tension, and then at the end, oh, she gets hung. And it's like, okay, that was pretty cool. But in the film, that's a good scene still. It's still a decent scene. But nothing else works in this film. First of all, man, they really don't like making decent, well-developed characters in this film. The guys that wrote this and directed this, which they both wrote and directed it, there was two guys, I can't remember their names, I don't care, don't know or don't give a shit about how to write characters, because these are the most generic formula horror characters I've seen since probably the last found footage horror movie. Like, they're just unlikable. Even the one guy that's supposed to be likable, he's so like he's supposed to be like this. He used to be like a football star, but he wants to do acting now because a girl that he really likes is doing the acting too, and he wants to impress her or whatever. And that's the main reason why they go to trash the play set, is because he's so afraid of doing the acting. He decides, hey, if I destroy the set, then we don't have to do it at all, and I could be like her white and shining armor. I don't get the idea behind that. It didn't make any sense to me. But well, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense here. But like, even him, he's supposed to be like the good guy, but he's just such a pussy. Like, you don't like any of these characters. The two girls in this film, one of them is so wafy and kind of annoying. The other one's just a bitch. And the other guy that's supposed to be the comedic hijinks, he's such a shithead. Like, he's so shitty. Like, he is. Like, the whole first 30 minutes, which, by the way, it's only an 80-minute movie. First 30 minutes is just him fucking around and doing stupid stuff. And it's just terrible watching him because he's trying to be funny. He's trying to be, like, a good actor and, like, goofy and stuff. And it's not funny. It's not. It's just terrible. And so many found footage movies do that now, where they have to have the goofy character goofing off in the beginning so you can like him when he immediately gets killed later on or whatever. Not saying the character in this one gets killed, but, you know, there's a lot of found footage movies in the past that have this exact same character, and that character dies, and you're supposed to feel like, oh no, the funny one, not the funny one. Like, it's terrible characterization for a movie that obviously didn't know what it wanted to do with its characters, and they just decide, screw it, let's make him funny one, make him the depressed one because you can't get the girl, and let's make her the, I don't know, the nice one, let's make her the bitchy one. There you go, that's 4 characters, that's all we got, okay? That's all we could pay. That says we don't have that much money, we can't pay that many actors, okay? We rented the high school out for like a night for like $1,000. Like, we can't do much. But really, besides that, I mean, everything else kind of sucked in this movie too. I mean, I like some of the ideas in the film. I actually really like some of the camera work at times, even though they do the generic thing with the scares where, like, someone hears a noise and of course it's found footage, so he's like, he moves the camera over here, he's like, what was that? And then he hears something behind him, so he moves it back, what was that? And it keeps going on over and over again until either something like jumps out and goes blah, 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 or nothing happens, and then the scene continues until something goes blah, blah, blah. And it does that a lot, and for the most part, they weren't really scary. There was one scene that was tense and had a decent payoff, and that exactly, you know what I'm talking about. It was the frickin' scene that they used for the trailer. That had a decent payoff because the guy shows up behind her. She's like, oh, oh, and then the camera zooms in, and then she has the noose around her neck. What? And then she gets taken. I thought that was a good scene, but they used it for the trailer. So again, it's kind of like Terminator, where they spoil the best scene in the movie in the trailer. Yeah, the movie itself isn't scary. I like some of the camera work, like I said. I can't think of anything in particular, but I remember watching it and going, oh, that was actually a unique little shot. There's times where they move the camera around and it looks like there's no cuts. And of course, when they bring the camera back, there's something different in the scene, like something moved around or something. And it looked like it was pretty, you know, they probably definitely cut it, so the editing is decent, but it was very seamless, and it was seamless. Let me just say, the editing was seamless. That's what I'm trying to say. But overall, I don't have much else to say about this movie. It's not very scary. It doesn't have anything really special about it. Like, the main bad guy is literally, it looks like the guy from one of the guys from The Strangers, if you remember that film. It has a bag over his head, and he has like a stitching smile and a stitching, like they're just stitching to make it look like he has like a smile or a mouth or whatever. And most of the time, all he does is stand there with a noose. He's like, hey, I got a rope. You think I'm scared? You got a rope. You look, I got a rope. So yeah, it's not scary. And the characters are terrible. The writing isn't great. The comedic moments in the beginning didn't work. Yeah, this is just a dud of a film. There's some decent ideas here and there. Some decent camera work, some good editing, but for the most part, it's just... And also, there's a lot of shaky cam, obviously. So, editing-wise, it's good for what it is, which is a found footage movie. So, there's a lot of shaking of the camera. I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 15 out of 40. Yeah, it's not very good. It's not amazingly terrible. Like, it's not the worst film I've seen this year. I'd rather watch this over again, but before I see stuff like Mordecai or The Loft or Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 or shit. I'd rather watch this before I even see Hot Pursuit. I haven't even seen it yet. I'd rather see this before I even see Hot Pursuit once. One of the worst, but it's not the worst. So, yeah, I've seen some shit. So anyway, yeah, The Gallows is not bad. Oh no, it's bad. It's not the worst though. There you go. That's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and until next time, goodbye.